Hola, amiga.
Hi, how are you, my friend?
My friend, welcome back, my friend. How are you going, my dear work colleague and friend?
Really good. All good here. It's nighttime. It's beautiful nighttime.
You're,
Friday.
you're ready
So,
to party, huh? You're ready to party.
oh yeah, sure. I'm ready to party and go sleep.
So, how is beautiful life in Cancun, Mexico?
It's all good. All good. It's a beach weather now in the nights. You know, the summer beach weather that is a little bit fresh, but it's hot during the day, so it's good.
Have you got any tourists there at the moment?
Yes, a lot of tourists, a
So,
lot.
so where are they coming from? Because no one's allowed to travel. So, how come everybody's
Uh,
going to Cancun?
there are a lot of locals. There are a lot of Mexican people here,
Okay.
but also there are from US, I
Ah,
think. I don't know where else, but there are a lot of tourists around here.
okay.
Like nothing happened, but I think the hotels are making a good effort,
Mm.
and everybody's wearing the mask in the streets and things like that. So it's good.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's cool. And Cancun's the taco capital of the world, isn't it?
Not Mexico, but Cancun.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
think it's Mexico City, but we can change it. That's not a big deal.
I think you should have a chat to the Cancun tourist office and tell them that they should label the place as the taco capital of the world.
That's a good idea, but it should be the spicy taco, okay?
Spicy
'Cause
tacos. Yeah,
otherwise, it's not the same.
you're always telling me about how spicy you have your food. It would kill me if I ate food that spicy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna cook for you, and oh, it's gonna be really fun. It's
Okay.
gonna be
Well, good luck trying to send that to me because it'll take probably 2 years to get here, yeah?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But it's gonna be fantastic. You have to try.
Okay, I will. I'm open. I have to remain open to everything. Okay, so there we go. Okay, let's get on with the show because we're talking about rubbish and people
Yeah.
people want to hear us talking about other stuff. So the whole idea of the show is you're going to come on the show weekly now, so it's getting more and more regular. You'll be taking over the show soon, and I'll be leaving to do something else. Yeah, so I just might go sailing, and you can do podcast shows for humanity. Yeah.
I hope not. I hope not. I'm gonna need your help.
So you're going to join me on a weekly basis, and we're going to talk about a topic that one of our listeners or our viewers sends in to us, right?
Yes, that's true.
And today's topic, making life-changing decisions. Now, who was the wonderful person that told us that we should talk about this topic?
Okay, this topic was from Chelsea Howland. She lives in Brisbane,
Oh,
Australia.
Brisbane!
Oh, yes. Yes,
She's from
really.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's right there.
Isn't that funny? So someone in Brisbane who lives probably close to me sent you a message in Mexico about what we should be talking about. That's quite amazing.
Yeah, that's funny, right? Yeah.
So maybe someone next week will send me a message from Mexico City saying that we should talk about a certain topic.
Yeah, that could be really good.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Chelsea
that's
Holland.
great.
Chelsea, shout out to you, Chelsea. Thank you very much for stepping up and giving us the topic for this week's show. And if you're out there watching and listening to Luisa rubbishing on today about this subject, then feel free to send us a direct message with a topic for next week's show. And we will get onto it and give our best effort on giving a perspective on that particular topic. So making life-changing decisions. That's pretty good. I think this is probably a time with all that's going on around the world that a lot of people are making lots of life-changing decisions. Louisa, what do you think?
Yeah, I think now it's a big time for a lot of people making decisions about maybe business, career, love life, the places that they want to live, or a lot of things because now everything is changing. So it's maybe not only our decision, maybe life is pushing us to make those decisions, and this is a time for face that and make the best decisions we can make, right?
Yeah, I'm loving so much about this COVID-19 period. I really am. There's a lot of downside to it, and there's a lot of people that are struggling. I understand and acknowledge it, but I'm seeing more and more every day positive things that are coming out of this, like people changing their lives by making some of these life-changing decisions, right? And business innovation going on like perhaps never before, where people are having to think about being creative in their business, and there's so much great stuff going on. I think. Do you see that or not?
Yeah, I see it every day, and not only here in Mexico or in Cancun. I see it on social media. I see it everywhere. People trying to make the best of this time, and that involves decisions, right? How do I open my store again? How can I continue with my business? How can I don't know, find love or company, or how should I connect with my friends during lockdown and things like that. So yeah, everything is now, as you said, changing in a good way if we are kind of positive. But yes, there's a lot of downsides of this situation. But if we focus on the positive things that we can make or create, I think we can be in the next year in a good position.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about whether or not your partner made some life-changing decisions after he watched the last show that we did together.
He's still there.
He's still there.
Yeah, thanks to you, but no, he's still there.
You mean no thanks to me?
No, thanks to you.
Yeah.
But everything is good, and yeah.
Okay, well,
he's not as scared.
He's
yet.
not as scared anymore. Okay.
No, yet.
Yet. Okay. Oh gosh, I can't wait for all the borders to open again so that he can be on the show. That'll be fun. So why don't we tell people? I think the first thing we need to do when we're talking about making life-changing decisions is, what do we actually consider as life-changing decisions? Like, I can go over to the refrigerator and decide whether I'm going to eat that cheesecake or not. To me, that's a life-changing decision, right? So what are we talking about? Like, what are life-changing decisions in your definition of things?
For me, it's a little bit bigger than the cheesecake. Maybe I'm thinking more about career, work, love life. Marriage, places to live, changing big things in our life.
Yeah, right.
And it's not that the small decisions are not important. No, all decisions change our lives. That's true. But the biggest one are sometimes makes us scared about it, right? And yeah, I think in my life, the biggest decisions that change, my life, were about career, or ending a relationship, or start a relationship, or moving to another city. That was the biggest decisions that I had to do.
Just before
for you, for you is cheesecake and.
No. I just want to quickly put out there before I start getting all this hate messages that I've been quite vocal in promoting my health kick over the last few months, and I want to assure everybody that there's no cheesecake in the fridge, right? So
no, we know.
Yeah, I'm still on it. I'm still doing it. I'm committed and focused. Yeah. So okay, so let's talk about some of those things, because I think that some of those things that you mentioned are probably a lot of things that people are going through today. Let's talk about jobs and some of the experiences that you might have had when you've made different decisions around changing your job in your life. Do you have a process that you go through? Like, you sit down and think about, okay, I've been here long enough, time to change a job, I'm going to move on?
Yes, I have a process for the big decisions. I have a really good process that I didn't create. I think I just found it in my life. And with the big decisions, I started to think about it, and I started feeling nervous when I have to make those decisions. If I have one or two or three options, or if I only have one but I'm not ready to take that decision. And the thing I do is I step back always and stop with everything in my head. I take the time, and I I close to everything and everybody, and sometimes I make something really, really, really crazy. Maybe it's crazy, but sometimes I take a day or two without sleeping at all until
Really?
I make the decision. Yes.
Really? No sleep?
Yes, really. No sleep until I make the decision.
That
conscious
sounds
decision.
kind of counterintuitive, that you're not getting enough rest to think about the process and you're going ahead and making a big life-changing decision with no sleep.
I know.
Okay.
I know. But I have like everything clear in my head when I step back.
Yeah.
And I have everything clear.
Yeah.
So to make the decision, it's this day, and I'm not gonna sleep until I make the decision. I'm not talking to friends. I'm not watching TV. Nothing. Just focus on the best decision that feels correct for me and that feels good in my body. That's my process.
We should.
Do you have a process for you? I don't know. Maybe not that crazy, but
I'm the opposite. I'll go to sleep for 2 days and then wake up, and the decision will be made for me in my mind. But I just want to say to everybody before they start questioning your process here that you are a Gemini, so that brings with it different processes, right, in terms of how you make decisions. But I'm interested to know, because I've worked with you for a little while now, and I know that you're quite quick at making some decisions and quite impulsive. So for you to actually, you just said you're gonna, think about it, get no sleep, make a plan, blah blah blah. So it's kind of against your intuitive behavior to do that. So do you have to really try hard to do that, or does it come naturally when it comes to making decisions?
When it comes to small decisions, yeah, I'm impulsive, as you just said. Exactly. And I decided really fast, and I start doing, and yeah, I don't stop to think a lot. But when there are big decisions, like, do you want to jump out of the plane? No.
Yeah.
It's natural on me to step back and make that long process.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know, it's funny, but it's the way it is for me.
Have you jumped out of a plane?
No, not yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make it.
So there's a potential changing life decision you could make in terms of jumping out of an aircraft, yeah?
Yes, it is scary, maybe.
Yeah,
I will take the time to think about it.
Well, I just want to let you know, because this is probably a great time for me to bring this up for you and everybody listening and watching, is that the Humaneity Employee Incentive Program this year is going to give each of our team members an opportunity to do something really amazing, right? So the next opportunity for somebody on the team at Humaneity is going to be their first skydiving opportunity, right?
Okay. That's really scary.
Okay.
Am I on the list, or?
Yeah, of course, you're on the list. So everyone in the team is going to get an opportunity to win that opportunity of skydiving.
It's going to be really cool.
Isn't it?
Think about.
Yeah, so you'll probably get a couple of light nights of no sleep when you're thinking about that challenge, right?
Yeah. I'm sure you already did it. That's why you're pushing. Yes, that's why you're pushing, because you already did it.
Yeah, look, I think it should be mandatory for everybody at some stage in their life to jump out of a plane, because you learn more about yourself in that short period of time than you can ever possibly imagine.
Yeah, I am sure. Maybe for next birthday, maybe.
Okay. Well, you've said that now on record, right? So
yeah.
Okay, very good.
I know.
Yeah, so okay, you have this plan where you don't sleep until you've made the decision, and then what happens? Is it like an emotional release when you actually make the decision? Do you go and sleep for 2 days then and catch up on your sleep, or how does it work?
No. I'm not a big sleeper. Like, I don't need to sleep many hours. So when I finally had the decision, and it feels correct and perfect, yeah, I just relax, take my time, and go back to normal sleep, and go back to my friends and my family and everybody. Like,
you come out of the cave.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's that way. I came out of the cave and everything is normal again.
That's
But
very
that is,
interesting. That's very interesting because a lot of people would say, okay, when I'm going to make a life-changing decision, I'm going to include other people and ask them what they
mhm,
think, and particularly family members and stuff like that, right?
mhm.
But you actually do the opposite and want to lock yourself away from everybody so that you can have that clarity, I guess, in terms of the decision you're making.
Yes, exactly. And when I have the decision and I go out, I say, everybody, that's my decision.
Okay.
Or I'm going to do this, or I decided to do that. And yeah, then I communicate my decision.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
there's no
I
turning
don't
back?
ask.
No turning back after you've made the decision? Like, you go for it?
Yeah, it's no turning back. I never changed my mind
Yeah.
in the past. No,
Yeah.
never.
Okay.
No,
Well, that's cool. Now,
no.
you've lived in a couple of places, different cities around Mexico. So is the decision-making process when you move from place to place, is that the same? Do you use the same process depending on what the decision is you're making?
Yeah, exactly. It was the same process. To think, I was living in Mexico City, and it was not good for me anymore.
Mm.
It is a beautiful city, but it's crazy. It's so big, and it was enough for me. And I decided to move to a beach, but
Mm.
it started with what beach, right? There are a lot in Mexico, so which
Right.
one?
Yeah.
And what is the best place, and how to do that, and sell the house and move everything. And so yeah, it was kind of that process, and it was the best decision. And then I did it again and moved here to Cancun, another beach. But it feels good on me, and that decision feels like the correct one. So that makes the process easier
Mm.
when you feel it right inside you, that is the answer, that is the correct answer that you're looking for.
Mm.
And it's easier
Mm.
to make it.
Yeah. So you use the same process across every major decision you make. So if it's about work, about travel, about relationship, you go to that same. Have you been doing that all your life? How long have you been doing that process for?
Since I think when I was 18 years old, that was around my first big decision, to go to college or start working as a flight attendant.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time on a big decision, like an adult decision. And yeah, I started with that process at that time, and it worked for me. So I said, okay, this is perfect. Yeah.
So once tried successfully, you decided, right, this is what I'm going to stick to. That's probably a good idea though, right? Because if you have your first experience of making and let's face it, 18 years old, you're not, the worldly person that you are now. So it's a case of, making that while you're quite young, and it's a life-changing decision, right? Whether you go to college and get educated, or go out into the workforce and get educated in the world by doing a job. And you had good success with that. So it made you, I guess, more comfortable in your self-belief of making those big decisions and being right. Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
Do you kind of say every time you make a life-changing decision, do you assess whether you were right or wrong in making that decision? Do you go back and go, oh, I made a really bad decision that time?
No, never.
No?
Never.
No.
No, never.
You always
I'm not
made good
saying,
decisions.
Yes, I'm not
Wow.
saying it was a
You should buy a lottery.
perfect
You should
decision.
buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I should. No, never. I had never made a big decision in my life that I said, oh, what I did, and it was not the correct answer for me. No, it was always the correct one. So yeah, I'm not gonna change that process because it's working.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick to that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fantastic
yeah.
though. I don't think many people can say that. Like, I think there's a lot of people out there who say, no, I've made some really bad decisions in my life, and I'm one of them. I'd probably say that. But yeah, if you're out there watching and listening to us today, we're really excited to hear from you, and we want to know what major decisions did you make in your life, and what process did you use? Did you do what Luisa does and lock herself away in a cave for a few days and come out and announce to the world what you're going to do? Or did you just make the decision like in a few minutes? I know some people that make decisions without even thinking about too much because they believe that, just make a decision and get on with it. And it's a case of, once you've made a decision, a lot of people procrastinate a long time. And I think that's something that can get you into a lot of trouble. And I've been guilty of that in the past. And I think in terms of, for me, the more that you think about something, the more confused you can get about it, particularly if it's a big decision. I remember, I've got a funny story to tell you today about a life-changing decision of mine, right? So many, many years ago, I was in Australia working for DHL, the company I used to work for, and I got a job opportunity to go and work in Singapore. And I was really excited because I thought that would be a fantastic place to go and live and to work. And the irony was that it actually did eventuate 20 years later, but there was something that happened in the meantime. So I got a phone call one day, and it's a long story, but I'll keep it very, very short. I got a phone call one day from the person that was hiring me, and they said, the job's no longer going ahead here in Singapore, but we have a job for you in Brussels in Belgium.
Okay.
And I had to make a decision there and then on the spot if I was going to go to live in Brussels in Belgium versus living in Singapore. And of course, I'd spent the previous month getting myself ready for Singapore and focused about Singapore and, living in the tropics versus living in the middle of Europe in the winter and, So it was a complete mind shift in terms of that decision process. But I didn't hesitate. I just said, I'll go and do it, right? Because I just saw it as a positive opportunity to do all the things that I wanted to do. So, a lot of people would have hesitated, and a lot of people would have said no. I was, focused on going to Singapore and, Belgium, where's that? What language do they speak? What do they eat? All that kind of stuff. And that's basically why I turned up on my first day in Belgium with a pair of flip-flops on and a shorts when it was snowing outside,
Yeah, of course.
Best decision I ever made.
Yeah, of course. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But you were pushed to make that decision fast.
Right? Yeah, in a way I was, and I think that's what's happening around the world today, right? Like people are losing their jobs, and let's be serious for a minute because it's a significant thing in people's lives, right? So people are losing their jobs or their income source, and they have to think really quickly because they have a lot of exposure, whether it be financially, emotionally, or spiritually, and they need to fill that gap somehow. So I think that one of the interesting things that's happened here in Australia is. And you'll like this because it's about the airline industry. You'll know that a lot of airline industry people have been laid off or given temporary leave from their positions, and a lot of Qantas staff and a lot of Virgin staff have lost their jobs down here. So a lot of them ended up working at places like the supermarkets and Woolworths and all those sorts of places. And a lot of people are struggling with that because going from the glamorous lifestyle of traveling the world every day in a beautiful Qantas uniform, flying at 35,000 feet, ending up having dinner in places like Barcelona and Paris and London, and all of a sudden you're at Woolworths packing shelves, or it's a huge life change for a lot of people. So the decision-making process has purely, I guess, been around the financial pressure to keep income coming in. So I think a lot of people at the moment are making decisions, life-changing decisions based on the financial exposure that they have. And that's something I wanted to talk about today because I for myself have created a life, and I wanted to create a life where financial pressure wasn't the most important aspect of my life. I wanted to, above all else, enjoy my life and not have to have the financial security. So do you find that making decisions around the financial parts of your life is a stressful thing for you, or is it just something you deal with quite easily?
It is a little bit stressful, yes, but I think it's if you're doing what you love, you're gonna make the money. The money is gonna come, and I'm not saying it's easy in you just make it and that's it, but it's an important part, and you have to think about it because money, it's important. But if you're doing what you love, I think money is going to be there. You just have to work harder and harder. But I know that now this moment is pushing people to take those decisions, financial decisions, changing job or getting a job because they don't have one now, in a different way than 1 year ago, right? When you can decide it, or you have like a kind of normal situation. But now, a lot of people are pushed to do that and make that for the family. They need that income all the time, and they cannot wait until this ends. Nobody can wait, right? We have to make it happen. And I'm sure it's not easy at all, but we're trying.
Yeah, I think the other part of that too is that a lot of people are starting new businesses now because they're at home and they see the opportunity to maybe get online and create a business. And there's a little bit of danger in that because just starting a business at home doesn't mean it's going to be an overnight success. And if you're relying on money coming in, unless you found the next big thing, whatever it is, there's going to take a lot of hard work, and there's going to take a lot of time and grind and hustle to get any form of money in, as we're finding out, right, in what we're doing. So I guess that there needs to be some kind of reality check about the life-changing decisions you're doing. And I find that when people are put under a lot of pressure and stress, they don't necessarily make the best decisions for themselves in their life. So at the moment, if you are in the midst of making some life-changing decisions, take a step back, take a breath. We're always going on about the powers of meditation and all those sorts of things that you can incorporate in your life that help you to make better decisions, I believe. I think it's a tool that can be used to help make better life decisions. But don't rush into it, and don't be trapped into that thinking that, I have to make a decision today, otherwise this is going to fall apart or whatever. It's not. Life is, the sun's still going to come up tomorrow, and there's going to be an opportunity. But think of all the different consequences. I was just reading today about this whole thing that's happening in America at the moment with TikTok, and President Trump is threatening, or I think he has now decided that as of next week or the week after, TikTok will be taken down in the United States. And a lot of people run business branding through TikTok and that, right? So one thing that we have in place today in the world may not be there tomorrow that you can rely on. We're going to be putting our videos up on YouTube. Who's to say that in 5 years from now, YouTube's not going to be taken down or changed or whatever, right? So there's going to be things coming at you all the time that make you make decisions in your life journey, right? What do you think about that, Luisa? Do you think I'm on track there or not?
No, it's something that it's out of our hands. Like this situation with COVID-19, it's out of our hands. The TikTok, it's out of our hands. A lot of people is pushing effort on things that we don't know that it's going to be there. Our life changed so much this year, and I think we all know now how things can change really fast and never be the same, or could be the same but not for a long period. So now I think we are more conscious on exactly what we are doing, what is the process that we are taking, and where to put our time, our effort, everything. Since I don't know, December, March, depending where the part of the world we are, and seeing that life can change now really fast, because we said that all the time. We said, life changed fast, but now we see it. Now we really see it, that it changed, and it changed for everybody, not just for a country. So everything on every decision, not only business or not only family, everything, I think we are more conscious now to see where to put our efforts. And as you said, a lot of people is making money from TikTok, right? And now if that ends, they have to start all over again. And it's not easy. Life is changing in many, many ways, and I think we have to be not smart, but be really careful, making the best for us.
Good advice. Now, you would have learnt on our last episode that we did together that I love putting you on the spot when it comes to our shows, and I'm going to do it again today. Okay, so
okay, that is not fair. I need your opinion on this situation, not only mine, but
no. Well, I was gonna use your life journey as an example on what's happened during COVID-19 and the changing in the world, right? So if you go back to January 2020 in your life, right, you were having this very successful blog in Mexico that you were focused on and doing that. And, you know, I came across you on Instagram, I think it was, posting about your travel exploits around Mexico, invited you onto the podcast show. You had never been a podcast guest before. Right, it was the first time you'd been a podcast guest. You know, we got talking and chatting, and you know, we share a love for passion for travel and all those other things. Now you're part of the Humaneity team. Now you're doing a joint podcast with me. That's all happened this year, right? So you've gone through some pretty big life-changing decisions because you also chose to give away your travel blog and not do that anymore to come and join me at Humaneity. So talk about that from your perspective, because in the last, 9 months, you've changed a lot of aspects about your own life, right?
Yes, yeah, you're right. It was January. I was having a fantastic time. I have a lot of tours ready to make this year. I was ready to explore more about Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, the Riviera Maya, everything. Everything was planned, right? Everything. And the blog was going really well, growing, and everything was fantastic. And suddenly, COVID-19 appears. And then
I was going to
Mark
say,
Philpott
all
appears.
of a sudden I appeared.
Yeah. Then 2 weeks later, Mark Philpott appears. And yeah, you invited me. We had a great chat. I was so nervous the first podcast. And we reached a point when I said, I don't know when I'm going to keep traveling in Mexico. It's not easy. There are a lot of cases here, and I'm staying at home most of the time. It's not easy to travel. It's I'm not saying it's risky, but it's better not to do it like one place and another and the way I do, because it's not only one trip. It's 4 or 5 every month. So it was not a good idea. And when we start talking about Humaneity, it was that moment of life-changing decisions, right? And I'm not going to sleep the entire night until I have the perfect decision, and that was the process.
Oh, so you did use the same process?
Of course I did.
Okay.
Of course I did.
Okay, good.
I didn't tell you, but of course I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I'm glad to hear, though, is that you've said before that every decision you've made's turned out to be great. So now the decision you made to join Humaneity has also turned out to be great.
Of course it is. Yeah. Yeah, of course it is. It is a process, and it works every single time. Yeah, it feels so good from the beginning. It wasn't like a big deal. But it was a big decision because I built my website, and I did everything. I didn't have help from anyone. I did everything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy to say, okay, no more. And I start fresh from another point. And I know that a lot of people is feeling exactly that. No matter what they're doing. They said, I invest so much time or maybe money in that thing that I created, and now I cannot continue with that, and it could feel frustrating because you have the plan, but sometimes just things happen for a reason, and I'm still in the positive way of seeing that everything really happens when it should happen, and we're trying and making the best now. That is not easy for anybody, but it was a funny process and for me, but it happened so fast, and it was an interesting year and months.
It was funny for me too, I must say. It was a funny process. It was like but that's what happens. And I think in terms of getting back to being serious about it again, I think in terms of people should look for signals. There's a lot of signals that come into your life that help you make life-changing decisions. And one of the things that I think we underestimate in our life journey is our gut feeling. Our gut feeling is normally very good, and it's intuitive because it's part of who you are. It's your emotional feeling. And if it feels good for you, the chances are that it's going to be good for you. So you should follow your gut feeling, I think, in a lot of these big life-changing decisions. Because sometimes you get to a stage where, I remember once I was going to buy a big fancy car, and it was going to cost a lot of money. And I was like, oh, yeah, I really want that. And but my gut was telling me it's not the right thing to do. Like, don't buy it, yeah? And I think it was probably the first time in my life that I really listened to my gut and I didn't buy it. And I was so thankful that I didn't buy it. And I thought afterwards, yeah, I should listen to my gut more, because I tend to think more with my head and get everything bouncing around in my head. And we're all good at telling ourselves the stories that we want to hear, right? Like, yeah, I should definitely get the car. I need that car, like... but the reality was very different. So are you somebody that uses your gut feeling a lot in the decision-making process? Yeah.
Yes, on everything. Yeah. Absolutely, on everything. Sometimes I'm just driving to go have lunch.
Yeah.
And if I feel something that, oh, no, I shouldn't go that place or something, I change my mind. I go to have lunch somewhere else.
Yeah.
On basic little things, yes. Yeah, I do it. I do it all the time. I do it every single day.
Okay.
On big decisions, it's way more, of course.
Okay, let's get some controversy into the show then. Let's start talking about the differences between men and women in this process, because I want to know whether your process is typical of what other women use as a process to make decisions. Would you say you're typical when it comes to a woman making decision processes like that?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't talk to your friends and that about the decisions they make and how they come about making them?
Okay. My best friend is really weird like me. So I am not so sure.
That's why she's your best friend.
Yeah. Okay, let's take my mom. She's normal. I think she feels inside her, and she decides the same way. It feels good or no, but she have a different kind of process to make decisions. So different from mine.
Yeah,
she thinks about it, yes, but she's not so she doesn't take it so seriously, like I need to decide this one day. No, but I don't know how do you feel it? Do you think that men do it differently?
Oh, you're putting it back on me. I want to have a shout out. I want to have a shout out to your mum, because I know that Peter watches our show. So holla, Peter. Welcome to the show. And
yes,
she's supporting us. So look, I don't know. I see it all with men. I see men making rash decisions like at the drop of a hat, and then I see others that are very methodical in their process that they think about. So I guess it's, I wasn't trying to make a great divide between genders. I was just trying to find out if there was any magic sauce there that women do differently. One thing I do observe, though, and I think this comes down to a lot of differences between men and women, is that, take that typical group of women that go to a cafe to have a coffee together and sit down and have a chat, and they talk about a lot of things that are going on in their life, right?
Yes.
Guys don't do that, right? So,
no.
Unless they go out for a beer or whatever, and, even then they'll talk about sports or, something else.
Or business, right?
Or business or something,
Yeah.
Whereas I think women tend to sit in those little clusters and talk about their life stuff that's going on, and perhaps the decisions they're making in their life, and bouncing ideas off their fellow friends and all that sort of stuff. Men tend not to do that very much at all, unless it's a one-on-one man situation with a best friend or something like that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. Women do that, and they share more about life or whatever topic it is, relationships, family, whatever. More deeply. Yeah, absolutely. And men, as you said, only if it's with best friend, and with a beer in between or something like that, and yeah, it's not the same way, right?
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot again. So let's talk about the men in your life that you've had, right?
Okay.
Have they been good decision makers in terms of, life-changing decisions? How have you found their strategies when it comes to making life-changing decisions?
Not so good.
Not so good?
Not so good, I have to say. No. I don't know. It's
because why? Honest. Why do you say that? Why do you say they're not so good decisions?
I think they decided too fast, way too fast, or they take it slow and they take time in months and years to take that decision. Not every man, of course, not every man, but I'm saying that some of them, right?
Yeah.
It's not between something in between. They take like 5 minutes to take the decision and that's it.
Yeah.
Or they take 1 year and come on, take the decision. Just do it, right? So that's my opinion.
Now this is a lady who locks herself away in a cave for a couple of days to make a decision. You're telling the blokes to make the decision faster, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And what about your current partner? Is he a big decision maker, or what? How does he rank up in your system of decision makers?
I'm not sure, but I think he have two different processes. Okay.
The
first one is he makes decisions fast.
Yeah.
Fast. I don't know, feeling that it's the correct one.
Yeah.
And he makes it fast, really fast.
Yeah.
And the second, it's that he takes a night or the afternoon, the night to think about it. He really creates what he's thinking, and the next day is okay. Yes, I am sure about it. I'm gonna do this. So he have the two different process on him. I think I see that way.
So what happens when you have to make a decision together? Like you want to go and lock yourself away in a cave. He wants to make it straight away. What happens? Do you get into a bit of confusion around that, or what?
I think it's a hard question. I think
it's a touchy subject. I can see you going. You're getting blushing. Yeah, this is good. Okay, let's dive deeper into this. Yeah. Let's dive deeper.
You did it. It's something in between. It's not. We're talking. We talk about it, we discuss, we see both sides, and we don't rush to make the decision.
Right.
And we don't take 1 week to make the decision. It's something, in between. Like we're talking about that, we're seeing the other one's point of view, and based on that, I think it's really easy for us to take that decision because we listen both sides and said, oh, okay, it's not that you're right or I'm right. No, it's what is the best, what we think is the best, and that's our process.
Okay, so it's teamwork. Basically, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I must say, since I've been working with you, I've enjoyed the whole way that you go about doing things. You like to research things as well. You go away and you check out things a lot in behind the scenes, probably more so than I do. When I'm onto something big, I like to research it very deeply, and I spend days researching something. But when it's something a little bit smaller in terms of the decision-making process, I'll just probably go and do it quicker. But I like the way that you've done a number of things where you go away, you research it, you're methodical on it, and then you come back and you say, right, these are the things that I found out and stuff. And I think that's important in any situation, whether it be a team member relationship, or whether it be in your personal life or whatever. I think in terms of that, we don't have all the answers ourselves, right? And that's one thing I find really interesting about your big life-changing decision process, because you go away, you lock yourself away, you don't involve anybody else, so you really have a lot of self-belief that you're going to make the right decision. And I really like that, because it shows that you've got a lot of confidence in your own decision-making ability. Not everybody has that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't see it that way. I feel it's so natural for me, but yeah, I think you're right. And I'm sure it's not for everybody to have the same process, but if it helps to someone to say, okay, not saying that don't sleep, no, but taking the time for you, it's good to ask the people you love what they think about that. I'm not saying that's wrong. I don't do it. I don't. But I think it's a good idea to involve people, maybe, I don't know, your husband, your wife, your father, or someone. But if you're going to make the decision, if the decision is yours or affects your life only, not family or not business, it is only your decision, take your time and don't push yourself. Use, as you said, meditate. Maybe for the first time, it's not bad. Do it for the first time. Take the time and just think for you, what is the best for you, how you feel it inside you. Do you feel that is the correct decision, that you have to quit that job and jump on a new adventure, or do you feel that this is the end of this relationship, there is no more, this is enough, or I'm going to start something new and I'm so excited that is the correct choice. You're going to feel it. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it's easier if you just stay with you and listen. What you're trying to tell you, listen. And I think that is a good process, at least it's for me.
Yeah, listening is important, as we always talk about, is making sure that you're truly listening, though, not just superficial listening, actually understand what's going on. I wanted to talk about mentors as well, because a lot of people watching and listening to us have mentors in their life, whether it be for business or personal life coaches and all those sorts of things. Is that something you've ever adopted in your life to help in the decision-making process?
No, not really. No, not really. And it's not that I don't think having a mentor is a good idea, because it is. You can learn a lot about someone. But on the part of making a decision, it's not his life. It's just my opinion. It's not his life. It's not his business. It's not his relationship. It's not. So he or she is going to make the best advice, or they're going to guide you on the best process for you. But at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your decision. So I think it's great to have a mentor in many ways in life, but taking decisions, not so much, or it couldn't work for me, because I know it's not their life. They are not changing anything, and it's only on me. And if that doesn't work, I cannot say, okay, because he told me that, so it's his fault or something. No, it's on me. And that's why I think mentors or coaches are so good, but on a different situation, not when you're trying to make the best decision. That's my opinion. I don't know. Do you think it's a good idea to have a mentor helping you during that process?
No.
Okay.
That's my answer. No, I tell you what, I have a different take on this whole mentorship thing, okay? And my take on the mentorship thing is that everybody that comes into your life is a mentor, okay? If you read a lot of the scripts from Buddhism and all the other things about Sanskrit and all the other guides and Zen masters and everybody that comes into your life, these people come into your life every day. It's just a matter of whether we're open enough to listen to what people are saying to us and actually take the nuggets of gold that they give us in terms of advice and sharing about their own experiences. I don't believe in, I don't buy into this thing for 1 second that you need to go and get some kind of celebrity mentor, business leader who's going to charge you like a wounded bull to be a mentor for you. They've got specific skill sets, no question about it. But if you're truly open and you're listening to everybody that's coming into your life and what message they're actually bringing you, I'm a firm believer that everybody brings you messages for your life and to help you grow. It's up to you whether or not you're open enough to listen to that and to take those things on board that can help you grow. So yeah, I'm not big on the mentorship thing. I think when it comes to decisions, if you've spoken to enough people in your life and got lots of different perspectives on things, and that's where it can be better than having one or two mentors, because you've got a whole lot of people that have given you advice throughout the years, right? I've had some amazing managers in my life over the years, and I still use thought processes that I had with them back in the day. They brought me certain skill sets and knowledges and wisdom that they shared with me, and I still use that to this very day. So, and they're not mentors in my life in any capacity today. So there's an example of how I use, everybody that's come into my life to some degree. Also in relationships, I think every relationship we have, we learn from it, we grow from it, and it enables us to make better decisions, hopefully, when we go into our next relationships, right? So, yeah, that's my whole thought process around mentors.
Yeah, I think it is right. When you end anything, it's business or career, or you change to another college or whatever, a relationship, whatever it is, you learn from that situation, or hopefully you learn from that, and it's every year supposed to be easier to see what you really like and what is not good for you. Yeah, it is the easiest way to learn from you, right?
Think about when we leave home, right? So for all those first years of our lives, we're there with our parents and they're making all the decisions for us, right? So they're telling us when to eat, when to sleep, when we can go and play with our friends and everything. And then all of a sudden, life trundles on and you leave home and you go out into the big wide world and you've got to start making life-changing decisions by yourself, right? And you all of a sudden become grown up. And how do you make those decisions without your parents around anymore? Well, you're listening to other people that you've got in your life. You're listening to friends. You're listening to work colleagues that you're working with. We spend a lot of time around these people in our life, and they're the ones that can influence us in all sorts of different ways. And that's why if you read any business books and self-help books and all the rest of it, and they always talk about surrounding yourself with people that you trust, you love, and that you value, right? Because if you surround yourself with those types of people, then they're going to help you get to where you want to go with your dreams in life. And I'm a really big proponent on that. I'd rather have a smaller group of friends that I really trust and love and can invest my time in, versus having millions of friends that, social media fake friends and all that sort of stuff, right? So yeah, I think that's really important, is to be aware of that journey that we've all come on. We were under the control of our parents back in the day, and they taught us all the things that we knew up until that time when we left home, and then we started making decisions by ourselves, which ultimately led to our direction in life.
Yeah, I think that is something that parents, I don't know if they're conscious or no, prepare kids, right, to start making life decisions.
It's a tough job, isn't
it?
Hey, that
it
parent
is.
job.
I'm sure.
Oh. You haven't been a parent, have you?
No.
Okay.
No, and I'm never gonna be.
I've got a 3-year-old baby dog, and
oh, okay. Yeah, I have a 15 one, so I win.
You win, yeah. You've outlasted me, yeah.
Yeah, but it is not easy, right? You have to prepare kids to make decisions in life, and it started with what do you want to wear today, what do you want to eat. It's not like you have to eat this fruit and that's it. No,
and it's every day.
What do you want to?
It's every day. It's day in, day out. Yeah.
Exactly, and I feel it that way in my house. It was all about decisions. All about decisions, and not when I was 12 years old. No, it started early. The parents have to do it and create those things for kids, so they start making small decisions, and then they will be ready to make bigger ones. And it's not going to be so hard when they are adults out there and saying, oh, now I have to decide.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be easy because they have made it through the years with bigger and bigger decisions, so it makes it easier.
Yeah, I find that whole psychology between parents and children really, really interesting, because I think that the parents are always governed by the limitations of what they know and what they believe in and what they've been exposed to in their lives, and typically that's where your first formative years are created, is under that impression from your parents. And we see it so many times that people go out into the world and they're ill-equipped with decision-making processes because their parents might have been procrastinators, and not being judgmental, it's just a fact that some people just don't like making decisions, right? So I see it in a lot of people that I know, that how come you're such a slow decision maker? Oh, my dad used to be really slow at making decisions as well. And you hear it a lot in terms of it's being passed down. And getting back to today's reality is that you've got a lot of parents today who are in a difficult situation because of COVID-19, right? And they're having to think for the family. These life-changing decisions that we're talking about are impacting the whole family. So that's a big responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's so big, and that's so different, because we're talking about now for families to think about financial. Where do I work? How do I make money? Homeschooling now. There are a lot of places that the schools are closed, so they have to make homeschooling at home, and that is the only option, and you have to be there. So now it's all about decisions in the family that affects all. Do we go outside? Do we go to the park? Do we stay home? Do we visit grandparents or no? Everything is a big decision now. Everything is a life decision now for families. And I'm sure it's not easy for parents to take the best decisions now for their kids and for them, because they weren't prepared. Nobody's prepared for that. And it's about career, business, money, health, and happiness of the kids, because they're staying in one place. So now it's all about decisions every single day. Now
I find it really interesting now, because we're in that different phase of history that we've ever been in before, and I'm hearing people talking about decision-making process in a different way. Like, people are now even questioning if they're going to travel again. Like, people are saying, when's it going to be safe to travel, and can I go to that country? And we're starting to see, just today we're starting to see massive outbreaks of the virus again in a second wave across all different parts of Europe in particular. And people are now questioning those things that we took for granted before, that we could hop on a plane, go to another country, have a holiday, and we're going to be safe, we're going to be okay. People are now saying, well, hang on, my decision-making process might be that we don't go on that overseas holiday again. We might go somewhere in our own country, right, and have that. So I think as we're moving forward, the decision-making process around the things that we used to do in our life, whether it be the job, whether it be the travel, holidays, all a bit different, the things that we need to consider now.
Yes, I was talking to a couple of friends in the past 3 or 4 months, and we change our mind every week, right? And regardless on travel or things like that, because they say, okay, maybe for December, maybe for Christmas, we go on a trip to this place or that place. And suddenly in August they say, okay, I'm not sure it's going to happen for Christmas, right? Yeah. It's better to stay home and to wait. And we're really ready to travel again and jump to a plane, but it's not safe, and it's better to stay for a little while on our country and maybe travel here, or maybe just wait.
Well, the good news is, Luisa, that the Cancun Skydiving Club is open for business, and you don't need to go too far at all before you can jump out of a plane.
I think I'm going to wait for you, and you have to join me, because I'm not going
to okay, you're going to put me on the spot. I've got no problem with it. I'm happy to come and jump out of a plane with you.
But you have to jump first.
Okay? Okay. But I don't think we should be delaying it that long. I think everybody watching and listening today would love to see the video of you jumping out of a plane for the first time.
Yeah, it could happen next year, maybe. We'll see.
We have to encourage it. Okay, we're going to wrap up today, but is there any final pieces of advice that you'd like to give people who are out there at the moment struggling with making life-changing decisions about any aspect of their life?
Just not be so hard on you. Not be so hard, because it's a difficult time to make decisions. So don't be so hard. Take the time, and if you need support, ask for support. Ask for support in your family, friends, or someone outside. Just reach out someone on social media, and sometimes it really helps. But don't deal with this situation on your own if you need help. And if you need to take more time for any kind of decisions during this situation, take it. It's for you, it's for your family, it's for your health. Do it, and don't be so hard on making the decision fast or trying to make the best decision. It's really hard for everybody, and we have to face that and be more kind to each other and to us.
Really great advice there. I love it. I'm only going to say this, and I'm going to say that every major decision you make in your life, whether it be from this day forward, make it with love, and make it with love at the core of that decision. Because if you're making decisions based on all sorts of other irrational feelings and emotions, fear, anger, frustration, which there's a lot of that around at the moment, it may end up being the wrong decision for you. In fact, it quite possibly will be the wrong decision for you. So make sure love is at the center of all your big life-changing decisions. That's my little tip for today, and chances are that you'll be happy with the decision you make.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and it's so true.
Luisa, it's always great to have you on the show, and I'm going to drag you back in again, kicking and screaming, to next week so we can do this again. So what do we got to do? We've got to ask people now to send in their topics for us to chat about.
Yes, they can send it on social media or here on YouTube or wherever they want to share with you and with me any topics, right?
So you're the social media queen at Humaneity. You want to tell people how they can connect with us on social media? What are our Twitter and Instagram sites?
They can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Humaneity, and you can tell us what do you think about this, what topics do you want to share, or how you're dealing with this situation, or anything you want to share with us.
Yeah, great. We want feedback on the show, how you like it, whether you like Luisa and I chatting to each other and giving each other a hard time, or me mainly giving her a hard time. What topics you'd like us to discuss. We're open to talk about anything. We have no secrets in our closets. We're prepared to talk about any subject that you want to throw up, and we will give it a go here on the show every week. So check out the show notes, because we've got all the links to our social media sites that Luisa's doing an amazing job on managing at the moment. And we've got some more amazing episodes coming up on Humaneity across our shows. So subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That's another thing we want you to do. Press the little red button, and don't forget to hit on the notification bell as well, because that means that every time we drop a video onto YouTube, you will be notified and you won't miss out on any of our content. So Luisa, have a wonderful evening in Cancun. Pass on my best wishes to your lovely mother who's watching our shows. And we'll see you again back shortly on another Humaneity show.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful Saturday for you.
See ya. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.